it takes like 10 seconds to actually go live, and then I start. So you don't speak until I turn to you, right? Hello, bonjour. Bonjour à tous, on est à nouveau après le déjeuner en direct d'Espagne avec Carlos Camara, qui est un des développeurs, qui est un développeur expérimenté, très expérimenté de Joomla, qui a écrit au moins un livre dont je me souviens. Yeah, you wrote just one book, right, on Joomla development, or two? I don't remember.
Just one book.
Just one, yeah. Donc qui a écrit un livre très détaillé sur le développement au moyen de Joomla, que je vous conseille si vous êtes intéressé par le développement, et qui va nous parler de l'utilisation de Joomla par l'intermédiaire de la ligne de commande. So, yeah, that's the intro, and that's now, I turn over to you, and the stage is yours, Carlos.
All right, thank you very much, Yannick, for this introduction. I only have one book yet. Let's see what the future bears. I'm extremely sorry I do not speak French, so this session will be in English. Anyway, I hope you can understand me because my English is very basic, so hopefully it will be good enough for you to understand the session. And also the code speaks for itself, so let's see. Okay, Yannick already introduced me. I'm the author of Developing Extensions for Joomla 5, the book. Well, my slides are in French, thanks to AI. So I hope that will help you follow this session. Anyway, I do love the command line interface, the CLI, the terminal. I rather a good terminal interface than sorry, I need to switch this off. Yeah, I do love a command line interface. I do love working on the terminal, and that's why I think the new Joomla 5, well, it started in Joomla 4, command line interface is awesome, and we need to use it as much as possible and develop for it as much as possible. I have the CLI already have allowed me to create awesome applications like a queue for sending emails when in an orderly manner, so that the server is not overwhelmed and you know exactly when the emails are going to be sent. I have also created CLI interfaces to manage the automatic check for renovations with a cron job in a system. And my last achievement was migrating or making a Hika shop site to be able to import around 26,000 products daily from a CSV, thanks to the CLI. So I think CLI is really powerful, and there are lots of ways to see it, and we are going to see what's our journey today. Today we are going to explain a bit about the CLI, why it rocks. We are going to work a bit with the Joomla CLI so that you can have it around and see more or less how to navigate it. Then we'll write our first plugin, console plugin, to add a new command to the Joomla CLI, and then we'll add some options to the command. That's the plan. Let's see if we can do it. Also, we are going to work based on the component we developed last year for Joomla Day France. That was a wish list for Christmas. It was called All I Want for Christmas. And it will be, the link is already in my GitHub, and this presentation and all the links will be on developing extension for joomla5.com/jdayfr 2025. It's not ready yet, but it will be ready like this week or the next one. okay, with the links for GitHub to download this presentation and with all the instructions that you need. In any case, if you miss something or whatever, just contact me. I'm around the Joomla community, so you can contact me on Mattermost or whatever. Okay. Okay. So why the CLI? Well, first of all, is the geeky way of doing things. So I'm a geek. I really need to type my stuff in a console, in a terminal. It's really cool to do this. You feel like you are Neo from Matrix. So it's something that you really need to do. Also, the CLI doesn't have the same limitations as we have in the web server when we are through Apache web server or Nginx or whatever. For instance, we don't have timeouts in CLI. Okay, that's really powerful, and with every power comes a big responsibility, and you need to be more aware of your infinite loops and that stuff. But anyway, it's really great to not being constrained by any timeout and that stuff, and that's a good thing. Also, you can also set different PHP configurations in CLI. For instance, when you start executing your command, you can tell PHP that it should use, for instance, 4 gigabytes of memory, and it works. If the server is allowed to have those 4 gigabytes, the CLI will use those 4 gigabytes, no matter the PHP configuration, PHP ini configuration you already have. So it's interesting to use CLI because of all this stuff. The counterpart is you really need an SSH connection to the server, or if you're working in your local machine, you really need a terminal and you need to type stuff. Let's be honest, the terminal is not for everyone. Anyway, nowadays most servers offers a way to most quality servers offer a way to connect through SSH to your server, or they offer the terminal app in cPanel, so you can use it, and also I think in Plesk, so you can use it to connect to the CLI in your server. And another way of doing it is just adding the command in the cron job, but it's not recommended for development because that's really hard to be changing the cron job anytime. Anyway, so Joomla console is really easy to use. You just need to log into your server using SSH and perfect. Perfect. You are really cool, Yannick. I have to say this. I saw this in Joomla Day Madrid when you came, and it's awesome. So thank you very much. No, no problem. It's awesome. Okay, so this is the way to access the Joomla console. You just get to the root of your Joomla installation and type this, and you'll see the command. So let's see how it looks. Let me, yeah, here. I have here yeah, now I'm thinking that was not the idea. This was the idea. Yeah. Okay, I have here a Joomla installation. Okay, it's in French, or it's already in French. I downloaded it this morning. It's Joomla 5.4, and yeah, here is the local site. It's in my local machine. I use ddib for development, and I'm going to SSH into it. I hope this font size is enough. Okay. So I'm okay. This is a interesting installation because I made it a Joomla public folder installation. So that means that we have the Joomla private, where all my stuff, my Joomla stuff, uh, resides, lives. And we have the public folder, which is called Joomla because I name it like this. And it's where the public files are. If you see the public file, we have the HT access. I have not switched it. Anyway, we don't need it for this. So in any case, Joomla CLI works the same, so it's not a problem. I do recommend that you start playing with Joomla public folder installation so that you have your Joomla stuff, your extensions and the stuff in a private folder, so that it makes it harder to hack. Anyway, let's go to Joomla private. That is where our CLI lives. And here it is, the CLI folder. I'm going to log in there. Sorry. To go to that folder because it's easier for the commands. And here is our CLI application. So we just need to call it php.joomla.php. And we see here the list of commands that we have available. Okay. We also have some minor information. And we have the some instructions on how to use it. We just use php joomla.php, and we use any of these available commands. Okay, and we can add any of these options. Okay, so this is what we have. For instance, we can clean the cache with the cache clean. Let's do that. php. It was cache clean. Cache clean. Okay, cache cleaned. Okay, so we can even add users. We can do, if you have your site without the private folder, as I do have, you can create it using the CLI. Also, a bit of advice: I recommended the public folder thing, but you really need to be sure that your Joomla installation supports it, because some extensions and some themes are not yet adapted to it. So be sure to test it in a development server before doing the move for your site. Okay, that's all here. I need to find where it was. Here it is. Next. Yeah, this is the list of commands, and this is how you can use them. Also, if you have some issues, for instance, on how to use a command, for instance, the cache clean we just did, we can type help with the command, and then it gives more explanation about the command. Okay, it's interesting. Some commands really need some explanation, so it's good to have it there. Okay. Interesting part is that all these list of commands are installed or are code inside Joomla. They are not available as a plugin or anything like that. These are in the core. They are already in the core. But we can add our own console commands using the plugin system. Okay? And that is what we are going to do here. Let's see. I want to show you the structure here. You see the Joomla private. Sorry, yeah, here. I want to show you the structure of the plugin system. And as you see, there is a console plugin folder because I have been tinkering with this site already. But in a basic Joomla installation, you won't see the console folder, and it will be and here it is empty actually. So because there is no actual console plugin, we can even come here and look for it. There is no console plugin already yet. Okay. So let's start creating our own and see how we can do it. To start, we just some more stuff about the Joomla thing. Okay. To start with our plugin, as I mentioned, we are going to connect it with our with the extension we created last year. This is not required. We actually can create console plugins for anything. We don't need a component with our console plugin, but it's just I thought it would be nice to connect both sessions. So what we are going to do is we are going to install the the component we created last year, and then we are going to create the plugin for our wishes. Okay. So installing the plugin is extremely easy using the console. We just need to get the URL, and I already copied it. And we have here the extension commands. Okay. And we have the extension installed. We have the URL and we have extension installed. So let's see what happens when you try to install something. Invalid argument supplied for command. So let's see the help. And here we have all the information we need for the extension install command. We really need to pass either the path, either the URL of the extension we want to install. So we are going to create to install it using php.joomla.php. Sorry, php space joomla.php space extension semicolon install dash URL equals, and then we paste our URL that is from GitHub. I just copied it from the session slides. So when we click it, it says extension installed successfully. Okay. If we see the components, it's not here yet because I have not refreshed the window. But if we refresh it, it's here. This is the component we actually created last year. Okay, we can add our wish list. And please forgive me if I do any French mistake. I'm just writing words I have learned doing this presentation and the translations, but it's not that I speak French in any way. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you see the component works. We install it using the CLI, and now I think it's time for us to start working with the developing our plugin. So console plugins are exactly the same works, have the same architecture and the same behavior as any other plugin in Joomla. So if you happen to know how to develop a plugin for Joomla 5, you are in a good place because you just need to you can start with what you know, and you just need to plug in the knowledge about the console. So it's going to be fun and easy for you. We are going to do it creating the console folder. We already seen that we have it here. Let me switch to. What I think we could make clear. Okay, I think it's easier if I make things here on top. So let's do this in the console because we are in a console presentation. So I go into the plugins folder. I see there is already a console folder. So I just get in, and then we start creating the folder we need. We need a main folder for our plugin, which is going to be called all I want for Christmas. We get in. And now we need to create the services and the SRC, the source folders. So services, SRC. and they are here. Perfect. And now we need to add the folders to have our extension and our CLI command, our command. So make this src extension src CLI command. And they are here. Okay, so good. So far so good. We are in good shape to start writing the manifest for our plugin. As any Joomla extension, we do need a manifest to tell Joomla what it's going to use. Or I want for Christmas. I create the file, and now I'm not going to to be all the time in here in the terminal because it's going to be very bad for you. I think not everyone is happy with the console, so yeah, I'm going to use the regular editor, and here we need to include our this is the file I just created, the manifest. Okay, so let me switch and copy the manifest. I have it here, and we add a regular Joomla manifest file, an XML file telling Joomla what we are going to do with this. So this is a regular manifest. We have the author email, the author URL. These are metadata. We don't need it to have our plugin installed. The creation date, we can add here is 18th. And now this is interesting. We do need to define our namespace as any other plugin in Joomla. Okay. In our case, our company was called Noel. We say it's a plugin. We say it's a family console, and we use the name of the plugin as our namespace. We have the description. We have the name of our plugin. And then we have the plugin. It's going to be the AIWFC inside services. So that's going to be the name of the plugin and the folder that is also here. Okay, this is a regular Joomla plugin installation manifest. So the next thing we need is to have to populate the extension. For instance, this was called I think it was like this. I want for Christmas extension. No, sorry, I'm really bad with the names, so I probably need some help here. No. Let me remove this. It was here. Listing command. No, I need it here. The provider, task console part. Yeah, it was called plugin. Okay. Sorry, it's not extension, it's plugin. Not sure if it's the name I gave it. Anyway, I copy it from here. I need to change some stuff. Oh, cool. Noel. And another thing was clear to do just all I want for Christmas. Okay, this is listing. Okay, perfect. And this was also the okay. This is the extension definition. This is a plugin regular definition. Okay, we just create our class that extends the CMS plugin and implements the subscriber interface. Okay, because we need to subscribe to Joomla events to trigger this listing command. We add the auto language in case we want to do translation, and this is the important part. We get the subscriber events, and we really need to add this part to our console plugin. We register, we register to the before execute event, okay? And well, I have called the method to register CLI commands, and this is here. And this is really standard. It's just the basic Joomla plugin definition. And in this method, I just get the application and add the command, okay? The listed command that is defined in this namespace. So next thing we are going to do is to define this CLI command thing, okay? So I create a new file. I call it listing command.php, and I paste it from here. Here it is. Okay. This is the listing command. It's just defining a command. It's interesting, this part, because we can start seeing some things about the command definition. We define our class that is extending abstract command, okay? This is in the Joomla CMS. And we actually, I think I need to task console plugin provider. Yeah, here. I need to add all of this, or some of this. Okay, I don't need this yet, so let's remove it. So I am defining abstract command that comes from the Joomla framework, okay? And that defines all the stuff that we need. We are extending it. And we just need, at this point, to define the name that our command will have. We are going to call it All I Want for Christmas and listing, because it's going to provide a list of the things we need. And we are going to configure it. We have a configure method. And in this method, we will set the description. This is what it's going to do. I think this is so right. And so height. Sorry for my French. Anyway, and we have a little help. This is a very basic plugin. We don't need that stuff. Anyway, this will list the command. This is what it will define it. We have almost everything. We just need one last thing to finish, and is create the provider inside services. And our provider will have, here it is. Okay, in my tests, I use it console. We don't need to name it console, I think. Well, let's follow the convention. Name it. Provider here. Okay, so this is the provider. It's the same provider as we use for other extensions. All our extensions right now need a provider, need to be injected, need to create a dependency injection thing, the container, and that is high level PHP thing. So we define the service provider interface. We define this class is returned as a anonymous class. And in this class, we register our plugin interface. And here is our console plugin class. And then we define that it's going to be the family console, and the name of the plugin is All I Want for Christmas, AIWFC. Okay, and that's all. We are good. With all this in place, we can install it. As you are seeing, I'm adding the extension here into the Joomla directory, but the extension is not going to be installed yet. If we go to the plugins and we try to filter, there is no console folder here yet. Okay, and that is okay. What we need to do is to install our plugin. We are going to install it using the Discord feature that comes from with Joomla, and it's really interesting. And we are going to do it from the CLI. Okay, so this is this feature is under the extension group, and it's called extension discover. This is the command that we need to use, and then we will use the discover list, and finally we will use discover install. So let me clear again extension. Well, let's go to discover list, and we see there are no pending discover extensions to install. Okay, so let's just discover, and it says one new extension has been discovered. If we click on the list, now we have the data for our extension. Okay, and we have the name, and we have an extension ID, the type of extension. I probably missed the version in the XML, so that's why it's not there, and it says it's not enabled. I want to also show you that, well, the command to install it is discover install, but I want to mention one thing. As you noticed earlier, we have the ID of the extension, and we can use it when we install it to just install a specific extension. Okay, if you do not specify an ID for your extension, discover install is going to install all extensions that are in the previous list. Okay, so let's install it because we don't mind, and yeah, we are successful. If we check now, again, our backend, we have here now the console group, and we have here our plugin that has been correctly installed. It's disabled, and there is no way to enable the plugin from the Joomla console. So we enable it. And now, after this, after we have enabled it, when you click undo, we see that there is an error in our extension, which I need to check. Okay, let's see what the error is. It says in the provider, a console plugin, no plugin console plugin, no plugin console, AWF. Everything looks okay. Plugin console, AWF. Let me check the last time. No plugin console, AWF. I think this is okay. Yeah, the problem is the same problem I had the last time. I have created I have installed it incorrectly because the namespace is not correctly defined. I added an extra dash here. So not sure what I can do. Well, I know what I can do. Let's copy this, copy to copy, paste. Okay, perfect. And now I'm going to remove it from Joomla. Sorry. System plugins. Oh, no, sorry. System extensions. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename. I'm going to install it again with the discover method. Here, discover install. Oh, sorry, I need to discover. Now extensions were discovered. Why? Mm, mm, mm. Console plugin. Yeah, maybe it's yeah. Okay, yeah, makes sense. I think it was cache clear. No, PHP Joomla PHP cache clean. Well, that's well. No, okay. Yeah. With the stand here is in gestión. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what is verify. Let me see you. Okay. Okay, okay. Well, that should clean the cache anyway. Probably in extensions install. If I come here, yeah. Lo descubrí. That's weird. I think we can probably change the name at some point quickly. Name. Oh, no, no, I know what the problem was. It should be no. There was an space in the yeah, here it is. There was an space in the folder that made the issue. Okay, let's go back to this. We are not discover is here install. Awesome. And we now come here. We go back to plugins, and now we enable our plugin. And now when I do PHP, well, clear. And here at the top of our list, we have the command we just installed. So we have just created our first Joomla command for doing something. Truth being told is not really useful right now because it does nothing. Let's try it. All I want for Christmas, I want for Christmas listing. Okay, yeah, there is nothing, and there is even an error because I am forcing types in PHP and I am not returning anything, so it makes sense. Perfect. So now we have something that we can use. Here is our command. Yeah, here it is. You see, if I return 0, when I click here and I know. Oh, when I click here and I do the listing, there is nothing. Okay, there is nothing because and we are doing nothing. So next step will be to add some useful thing to our console, to our listing command. And that's what we do here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, let's copy it. And we are going to remove this. And here we have some errors even. Okay, this. For instance, I just used what AI suggested, and this, when we execute now, we will write to the console this later. One thing I have not mentioned is that Joomla CLI application is based on Symfony CLI. Okay, so as you can see here in the namespaces I'm using, these are loaded into Joomla framework or Joomla core. So we can use all of them. We must use all of them. And one of the classes they provide is the input interface and the output interface. the input interface, the output interface allows us to write data simply with these methods. You just need to check Symfony CLI documentation. They are also detailed. Some of these commands, or most of these commands, are detailed in the book I wrote, so you can check them too. But in Symfony documentation, you have them. Okay, so let's test if this works. Yeah, and it provides some the information we did. It's still not very useful, so let's try to make it better. What they had here is this. Yeah, this get pieces. Yeah. Copy them. Okay. This is not one. This is not good. This is not good. Okay, now it works much better. Okay, what do we have here is we now are adding a new class that is Symfony style that we are going to use here. Use. Look, this is not. Where is it? It's not defined there. Let's see. Right there. Click on. Here it is. We have here Symfony style. That's to give it more detail on to make it prettier. We also added that allows us to add a title, not just a line. We are going to comment this because I don't want this to be here. And also we have the console thing, the command thing. This is a class from Symfony. This is the class that is constantly asking me to add here. So I added it, and then now we have our terminal using prettier Symfony stuff. Let's see. You see, this was just plain text, and this is a much prettier stuff, much prettier title. Okay, so in my original code, I have a method to get the wishes. So let's get it. And let's make the changes because this was not for the wishes. Let's forget about this. I want deadlines for wishes. We are removing this, and this was not. It was all I want for Christmas wishes. Factory, yeah. This is more. This is just more Joomla code in the sense that you are probably used to it. We just get the factory. We need to use Joomla factory, and we use the database interface to get the wishes. This get wishes specs options. We are not to give any yet. So we get the database from the container. Okay, this is the right way to get the database now in Joomla, unless your class implements any of the traits for getting it automatically when it's created. And we create a query where we just select the wishes, and we set it to return the wishes, which will be here in the wish. And now we should show them. Well, we can use dump here to see them if we are debugging. I like to show this stuff because it's usually what you probably use most. So the table does not exist. I don't know why. Because it's not wishes, it's heights, I think. I make it a change. Let me check. Yeah, it's Suite, sorry. Sorry, I pronounce French with English accent, so really sorry. Suite. Okay, and now we will see. Yeah. Let me make it clearer. Yeah, here it is. Okay, this is a dump as you could do when you are debugging anything in your system, and it will show. You don't specifically need to use the output style from Symfony. It's just the output style thing makes things easier to do. Okay, and to use the output style, I also have this class this method show wishes. Yeah, this here. And okay, yeah, they have here the suite, that description, and yeah, and now it will show us the a nice table with the wish we already created. This is how you create a console plugin. This is just the basics we have made through the console plugin. We have used the console to install our plugin. We have used the console to discover. We have used the discover functionality. We are quite good. So, any questions so far? Okay, so perfect. Then let's go. Yeah, this in the slides you have all this process detailed with snippets of code of what you need to do. Okay, and yeah, this is what we have been doing, and now we can. I mean, this is okay. It's perfect. We have our commands, but it would be nice to be able to add some options to it. For instance, we might want to show only wishes that were created before 30 days ago, for instance, or something like that. So we can add options for our commands so that we can use them here. What I like to do when creating these options is to have this method as add options that we are going to add here in the configuration. Okay. And now we add the method here. And these options, we add a description for the option. We have the name for the option and the shortcut for the option. And also we need to use the input interface. I think use Symfony input option from Symfony. Okay, we need to use this class, and where we're here. And now we will have our options. So let's see what happens when we do this. And we check our help. And now we can see the option for our command. This option, we have just added it to the configuration. We have added it so that the user knows it's there. We have added the description. We have added the shortcut. This is the shortcut, the key that will be with the only one dash. And we have also specified a default value. Okay, the default value is set here. All this is in the add option thing from the command class, the abstract command class. We define the name, the shortcut, the mode. In this case, we are saying that it's optional. You can make it required. You can have like different stuff. The description, that is the help that is shown, and the default value. But we also need to make our get wishes thing to know about this option. Okay, so what I also like to do is to get the options in the execution. Okay, and then pass them to the get wishes. To get the options, I define a new interface, a new method. Oh, sorry. In this method, we just get the options and they are passed in an array. Okay, we get the array of options and then we pass it to the wishes. To pass it to the wishes, we pass them as an array and we can get this way. Get wishes. We get the days. I pass all the options to the wishes because just in case we add more options in the future, it's probably make it easier to pass them along. But you can pass only the days or whatever you need. Okay. Okay, we have the days here, and now what we just need to do is to add the where condition. Where you filter by date between 7 days, the number of days the user provide, and now. And that will, I mean, in this case, we only have the task from today, the task we already created. But in any case, let's see if this works for us. Let me clear. It's showing the 7 days. If we do 0, it's also add them because I'm not sure what happened if I pass a negative number. Yeah, it does not 6 because the dash is reserved. Oh, no, it's not working. So, oh, but it will probably work if I do it like this. No, it doesn't. Anyway, sorry, yeah, that was something I improvised. Anyway, what we can, that's all I think. Yeah, that's all we have for having options. We can add as many options as we want. We can do whatever we want. Just remember that once we are in the command, we can do whatever we need from Joomla code or whatever the system has accessible. Remember, you are not in a web environment. For instance, things like getting the URL of the site, you cannot ask the web server because there is no web server as we are using the browser. So you probably need to pass the web the URL using the deep site option or some kind of other stuff. And also you can remember that you have more power in the command line. Be responsible on how you use it. There is no timeout. You can increase the memory. There are lots of benefits for it. As you are not using the whole web server, it's more efficient in terms of how it is used in the server, how it is handled by the server. So it's make really powerful. And you can think of whatever application you want. You can have checks for when your domain expires, when your SSL expires, how much space are you using in the disk, because you are in a CLI. You can do whatever you want. Or for instance, you can set an email with all the articles public in this week, whatever you can think of. it can be automated using CLI. And I also would like to recommend these references because they help me a lot when writing the book, and I usually check them when I need more guidance. One is the book by Nicholas, really nice book. It shows you it also shows you the history of the development. It explains you why some things are in the way they are done right now, and the history that made us, or the process that made us to get to that solution. It's a really interesting book, really interesting reference. So I do recommend that you take a look. Also, a nice book by Astrid. You can buy it in Amazon. It's Joomla 4 developing extension, but it's also available in Web Archive as HTML. And finally, a resource that it's huge, it's immense, it's getting better and better daily, is manual.joomla.org. If you really need to develop something, this is your first stop. Really, it's getting amazing. And it will be awesome if you can also contribute with your stuff to there. It's a new way it's a wiki for documentation, but just for the programming thing, for the development thing. So it will help you a lot when you want to know how to do something in your code. Probably manual.joomla.org has the solution. Merci beaucoup. And really sorry for my French and all the mistakes I probably have made. So
Thank you.
great. Let me.
Ok, est-ce que nous avons des questions dans la salle? Okay, so there's no question in the room. I have one though.
Yeah.
Donc il n'y a pas de question dans la salle, j'en ai une quand même. La question c'est est-ce que tu as connaissance, on parlait de template et de bibliothèques d'éléments réutilisables et de choses comme ça. Et je me demandais s'il y avait une sorte de répertoire d'applications CLI comme ça qui pourrait être utilisé. So the question is, we were discussing earlier about libraries of templates and HTML pieces that you can reuse within websites and stuff like that. So in the same idea, are you familiar, or is there a place where people can turn to search for CLI plugins, things that are like common tasks maybe, or things that are useful? Is there like, I'm sure there's no directory per se, but is there places, people making such plugins? Do you have some plugins available on your GitHub or?
No, well, I do have another plugin for a similar session I did in Joomla
Like examples,
USA.
you mean?
An example is completely is probably the same thing. For the other applications, I think developers are usually adding them as a way to replace their cron job and to make them more efficient. So as exclusive applications, I don't know that many. Probably there are in the extensions directory for this, but for instance, if you install a Kiva backup, a very well-known extension, it's using CLI for the checks and for the automated cron job.
Okay.
So you can find examples there. Most developers or most extensions that are up to date, that are really into Joomla 5, implement this kind of plugin because it makes it easier for the developer. You do have less constraints. It reduces the support they need to provide because, hey, you just add this command to your cron job and it's going to work because you know there are no limitations, there are no issues. Also, another benefits from developing this kind of plugins is as they run exclusively in the console, you can easily automate integration tests. You don't need Cypress, you don't need that kind of stuff of high end-to-end tests. You can do with you can even do it using PHP unit, this integration test, because you are using CLI. So or well, not even PHP unit. You can use Bash. You can use just terminal programming to do the integration test for our CLI plugin. So they are very powerful in that sense. They are simple, but powerful at the same way. I don't know anyone doing this kind of stuff, but I do know that you can execute a console plugin task command from another one.
Okay, so
So you can
I'm
like
de-
concatenate.
yeah,
probably,
I'm definitely not going to translate that.
no. Oh,
It's
sorry.
way too long.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I
yeah.
forgot.
But no
Okay,
worries. It's
just say-
it's fine. I'll kind of summarize that. So, but the idea is that there is no real like a directory where people can turn to find ready-made plugins. It's just that
Extensions directories,
yeah.
yeah.
Ok. So, donc la question que j'avais posée, c'était est-ce qu'il y a toutes ces manières d'utiliser la ligne de commande permet d'automatiser des choses dans Joomla. C'est ça l'intérêt. Et donc, lui nous a montré comment on pouvait développer son propre script pour son propre intérêt, sa propre utilisation d'un besoin que vous auriez particulièrement. Mais je demandais s'il n'y avait pas des répertoires déjà, des endroits où on pouvait aller télécharger un plugin qui fasse telle tâche particulière, etc. Il n'y a pas vraiment ça. Là, il n'y a pas, je ne dis pas qu'il n'y a pas vraiment, il n'y a pas du tout. Ce qui m'a indiqué, c'est que, ou rappelé, c'est qu'il y avait les extensions les plus modernes qui étaient construites maintenant, arrivaient souvent avec des plugins comme ça. Par exemple, Akiba Backup, qui est probablement l'extension la plus connue, fait une partie de son travail par l'intermédiaire de plugins de la ligne de commande. Ça veut dire que vous pouvez, si vous voulez, aller dans la ligne de commande sur votre serveur, sur un nouveau serveur, et aussi utiliser non pas Akiba en cliquant sur des boutons dans l'admin, mais en utilisant directement la ligne de commande. Voilà. Ce qui permet, encore une fois, soit d'aller plus vite, soit de passer outre les limitations qu'il y a souvent sur les hébergements. Si vous avez des hébergements partagés qui limitent la durée d'exécution d'une page à 30 secondes, par exemple, ben, peut-être qu'en ligne de commande, vous avez le droit de durer plus longtemps. Pas forcément, mais il y a des limites qui sont différentes, donc ça peut être intéressant pour ça. Et puis c'est surtout pour l'automatisation. Vous pouvez faire ou des gros volumes de données ou des choses particulières. Donc même déjà sans développer, si vous n'êtes pas développeur, vous pouvez déjà utiliser celles qui existent dans Joomla. Par exemple, on parlait hier de faire un modèle avec Docker, de se faire un modèle qui utilise, qui arrive déjà à un Joomla avec des extensions préinstallées. Bah, quand vous créez votre Docker, vous pouvez utiliser l'extension, vous pouvez utiliser la commande en ligne qui est livrée avec Joomla, qui est extension install depuis l'URL machin truc, et vous pouvez en mettre 5 comme ça, et vous pouvez installer 5 extensions quand vous créez votre Docker. I was mentioning that because yesterday we had a Docker presentation, and some were asking about how can you prepare a ready-made Docker image with a Joomla image, but also some extensions that you may want to have by default. And one way to do that is in your Docker file, you could first install Joomla and then use the CLI to install extensions from remotely, and then you have a ready-made Docker image that you can then run. So that's one way of doing it, for having the latest version of the extension and so on. Okay?
Yep, no, definitely. Yep.
C'est tout pour moi. It's all for me. Do you have anybody else? Nope. I think they are going to try and develop plugins. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Bye.